Hey VC, my name's Harvey and a warm welcome to the introductory video for my channel Spinning the Black Circle. I live in Sutton Coldfield, about 10 miles outside of Birmingham. Story's a fairly typical one. I've been an avid music fan since the age of 13, but foolishly sold almost all of my vinyl record collection at a car boot sale in the early noughties, and been forced to recollect and restock that vinyl collection at considerable cost starting in about 2012. Some of that you can see behind me. And tastes are fairly eclectic, everything from rock, soul, country, jazz, blues, folk, some classical. So I intend to post here hopefully 2, maybe 3 times per week on the full range of topics. One of my forthcoming videos will be a hi-fi and music room tour. Although I'm more of a music fan than an audiophile, I certainly do have a system that helps me get the best from that music. But most of my posts will be around records, the collection of records, and purchases. So I thought I'd kick that off with 2 albums. Actually, one is certainly one of the first albums that I bought as a teenager, and secondly my most recent purchase. So without further ado, one of my first album purchases was by Daryl Hall and John Oates. This is the Big Bam Boom album on our RCA record from 1984. I guess in the 80s these guys weren't cool at all, were they? They were not in the critics lauded category, but have enjoyed somewhat of a renaissance since then. You know, we've had some tours that have gone really well for these guys, and live at Daryl's house, that online presence has really changed the perception of Hall and Oates, to give them their abbreviated name. But this is I suppose a fairly typical 1980s record. It's produced by Daryl and John with Bob Clearmountain, mixed by Arthur Baker, who was, I guess, a dance mix producer of the time. So it's definitely one of the most 80s albums you could think of in terms of the production. Songs on here: Out of Touch, which was a US #1, Method of Modern Love, big hit in the States, and the ballad Some Things Are Better Left Unsaid. So I guess in terms of something that will hopefully always be in my collection, having not disappeared at that car boot sale, then Big Bam Boom by Hall & Oates will remain there. Most recent purchase is by Rosanne Cash. Her first album in 4 years, entitled She Remembers Everything, on Blue Note Records. Just a fabulous record. She has a cast of very competent musicians on there. Colin Malloy, who some of you guys will know from the Decemberists. Elvis Costello features on one of the tracks, as does Chris Christopherson. The production and the songwriting is just ace on this. The care that has gone into this record. Also features her partner John Leventhal on guitar. And one of the odes to him on this album, Not Many Miles to Go, is just a fabulous track. So heartily recommended. One thing to note, it's on pink vinyl. I'm not a big fan of coloured vinyl, but the mastering on this is just superb. So highly recommended, recent purchase, and that's Rosanne Cash's She Remembers Everything. But the other notable Rosanne Cash album, or one of many, is King's Record Shop, which is from 1987. Big country album. So this is the other one worth tracking down. Produced by Rodney Crowell, who many of you will know as a musician and songwriter in his own right. Very well respected. One of the things you'll see that I do with some of my albums is just put a sticker on the outside, not on the actual album, on the outside of one of these plastic covers, just to remind me of when it was released, any production notes, anything of note in terms of the value. So you might see some of these popping up on some of my records as I review them. So that's it for my very first review. YouTube post, and I look forward to hopefully many more. Love the vinyl community. Please subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, and speak to you very soon. And meantime, Happy New Year.